Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, January the 3rd, 2024. So, Happy New Year. Welcome to the new year. The trading week is not starting out like we had hoped, but I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday season. Happy New Year. Got to spend some time with family and friends and didn't eat too much like I did. But we are in a new year and kicking it off with a good start here. So let's jump in. I've got the NASDAQ, the RUT, and of course our ticks right here. They all tell kind of the same story as the ES. I like to watch the ES because it gives us a little cleaner picture than just the S&P. But as you can see, we ended up on the day down on the ES 38.5 points. Not good after, a lot of back and forth action. We had Fed minutes right here, I believe, is when they were released, and yay, this is great, and then came back down, took out the lows on the day to end down there 47.41 on the ES. So I like to start here and kind of work our way backwards. So let's do a 5-day chart. And in the last 5 days, this was the biggest disappointment. If you watch the video I did last Wednesday here, we were up and away. Everything was great. 48.41. I was looking for 4,800 to 4,900. I think a lot of people before, and I'll show you in a minute another flush down here. We're looking for these numbers: 47.50, 48, 48.50. That's just where all of the math put it that we would end up. And then guess what happened on the last trading day of the year? We got big, just open, ding, 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 opening bell, and we just free fell and crushed everyone's hope and dreams that were hoping for an end of the year last little pop up here. Where's Santa rally? The market likes to end the year on a high. All that kind of stuff did not happen. And then, we come in, we had this in the futures, of course, and then we're just, lower since then, just kind of straight down. And it makes me wonder if this is the profit taking from all of the profit everybody made last year, because the market rallied for 9 weeks in a row there at the end of the year. There was not a lot of tax loss selling because the market had rallied so much. I assume maybe this is what's kicking in right now. It's hard to tell, but let's look at this. So here's a 20-day chart, and as you can see, now I've got the voodoo lines up here, and as you can see, voodoo snow line we've touched 3 times. Is this going to hold this level? Going to hold and bounce up here, or are we just going to take this out and keep going? And of course, no one knows, right? Again, we were on it going into the end of the year. We were on this trajectory that was just moonshot crazy and thought this might go here. Then we had this 100-point flush down reset all the way back to the snow line. And again, I thought this was going to, still take us up to the end of the year on the high. That would have been textbook perfect, one for the records, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the algos say we're not going to let that happen, and they just flushed it down there at the end of the year. Very frustrating, I guess. And then this follow through, because we're Santa Rally is supposed to be last week in December, first week in January, and neither one of those is happening right now. So if we go back out here, let me switch this over and go on a 1-year chart. Now, we've been talking about this, if you've been listening to the videos I've been doing for 9 weeks, basically off of this low. We have been buying long, and I started getting nervous up here. This is too far, too fast, that kind of thing. And if you remember, I said, as an example, we need something like this or this, and all I'm talking about is a little reversion back to the mean in order to rally more, reversion to the mean to rally more. Here's a reversion to the mean, but this ended up doing the kind of stair step down, right? And as you can see, we did not get it. We were just pushing higher. This is October to November to December to January 1, we're kind of where we are right now, right? So that's 1 month, 2 months, it's been 2.5 months that we've been going basically straight up. So this is very normal and very expected. Again, I've been kind of calling, not calling for a top at all, because I'm still bullish somewhat. But I think in the last video I said, I think the gas tank might be getting a little low here. It's time for a pullback. From a health of the market standpoint, right? Not really so much of an overvaluation standpoint, even though we're pretty stretched here. We went from 4,100 to pushing 49. That's 4,900. That's a pretty good move, right? In a pretty short period of time. These are 34 EMAs. We're coming back down into those. Those typically are areas, of support that we do hold, and maybe we bounce from here and get going again. I don't know. And think about this. I always relay the charts, or relate the charts to what's going on the economic calendar. So this Friday we have payrolls. Let me put my calendar up here and I'll show you real quick. We have payrolls here. We have CPI next Thursday, PPI next Friday. I don't think we're going to get anything. It would take something really crazy to spook the Fed at this point, I believe. I just don't think we're going to get anything out of the ordinary here. We had plenty of chances for the CPI to shock the system back 5-6 months ago, right? And they've been coming in line and all that kind of stuff, right? So we've got a Fed meeting here at the end of January, and then guess what? We get into earnings here middle of February. We don't have a Fed meeting in February. We do have a Fed meeting here in March. So the first real chance for a Fed meeting, or a rate cut at a Fed meeting, is March, here at the end of March. And right now, I don't know. I don't know what. I think the numbers, I believe, are like 50-50 right now on a rate cut in March. I don't know, but here's, I'll give you two sides of the coin. This was awesome. This was, in my opinion, this was pretty much all based on rate cuts, expectation of rate cuts in 2024. What happens if we don't get rate cuts? And, we know what happens, right? And if we do get rate cuts, has it already happened? And I don't think so. I do think we go higher. I am more bullish. I'm net long, thinking that we pull back here in these 34 EMAs. I'll buy here, looking for a bounce into earnings season. I'll put tight stop under here. If I'm wrong, this is what I'll risk. Tiny little bit of risk there, and that's kind of across the board. Names I'm looking at, a lot of the tech names have gotten really were overvalued. They're coming back down to earth. Nvidia, Google, Apple, Amazon, etc. The list goes on and on. You guys know those names, and I'll show you the basket that you can kind of watch is the ARK. All right, same thing. If you're holding all those stocks, all those big cap, the Mag 7 stocks, let's call them, up, gonna reset back down here. Right here is where you buy for the next run up, right? And then you put a tight stop under here, if this breaks, because this could, we could right here, we did the same thing. This big run, we pull back, big run, pull back, thinking that we probably bounce, and we didn't. We took this out, and we took it out again, took that low out, and then guess what? We took that low out. So that could happen. We've got 2 or 3 months before the real likelihood of rate cut. The Fed doesn't have to wait for a Fed meeting to cut rates, but 90, I don't want to throw a number out there, but 95% of the time, it's at a Fed meeting. So anyway, right now I'm structured in my bias portfolio. I am short. I'm actually short the diamonds, and I'm long a handful of names. I'm long Eli Lilly, crushing it. Guys, look at Eli Lilly, LLY, when you get a chance. We've been long that for a little while, and it made a magnificent breakout up here today. We're long Bristol Myers, and a handful of other names, but basically I'm long more than I'm short. But I'm still being pretty cautious until we kind of see what happens really the next couple days, because again, I'm gonna switch back over here to the ES. If this thing continues to break down here, I'd say we've got another 100 points. We're at 47.50. If we get down to 46.50 and break, I'm gonna flip the switch and I'm gonna get on this side of the equation and think we're gonna short that thing down. Don't want to do that. Don't think that's as likely, but we'll see. You have to know, you have to be ready for either scenario, right? So, overall, I am looking for a bounce here. I'm actually looking for a little more downside first, maybe 100 points in the ES. That level holds, and then we bounce and we start picking up some of these tech names pretty inexpensive or cheaper than they were, put it that way. And we're looking for honey badgers, and also we're trying to trade these indexes as well. So for now, we're in a pretty critical spot. Actually, the next couple of days, Thursday, Friday this week, should tell us more if we continue to have these big down days. I'll be watching these levels a lot closer for a break below these levels, and if that happens, then you got to be willing to get on the other side here and start getting shorter. But again, I've only got one position that's short right now. You gotta think about it both ways. What are you going to do if this happens? What are you going to do if this happens? And anticipate that. Get ready. Already know, have a plan ready. Get your trades kind of set up and ready in advance, so you're not caught off guard and not surprised. So with that, let me wind it up. Join me next week. We'll always do these on Wednesday night. We'll have a lot more insight after we've had a couple more days of trading in this year to see if we continue follow through to the downside, or we start kind of getting a foothold here. So with that, let me wind it up. Let me know if I can help. Come see us at Simpler Trading. I had a really good year last year. Trading was a tough year. 2023 was a tough year. We still ended up with a good year, actually. But let me know if I can help. And I'm in the bias room every day. I'm in the main room 3 times a week. So just let me know if I can help. Thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me